Hey guys, this is Static P, also known as Ryan, and I'm here today with the Beta Cat.
Hey.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful, thank you. So,
You're welcome.
Insert things here. With kindness and pleasantries.
Insert you're welcome.
Oh, thank you. Insert you're welcome. Okay. So we have some comments to read from today. Both of them are actually private messages to me. Derek hasn't been getting very many on his channel, so I usher you all to go over to his channel, check him out, and enjoy him. He does a lot of video game stuff, and it's really just pleasant and enjoyable to watch him do what he does. And he's got a great personality, so please check him out. Go over there, show him some love, and watch his Don't Worry Wednesday, and comment on his stuff, because he has deserved it, and stuff.
I didn't see that awesome. Coming. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome. But yeah, seriously, go over there and show him some love, because he's amazing. He's one of my best friends, and I just really enjoy spending time with him, and even if it's just watching him play games, and I'm sure you will too. So, or do his vloggy stuff, which is awesome too. I like when he does that. So, like I said before, we have two comments we're reading from today, and if you don't mind, Derek, could you start us off?
Cool. So, once again, these are shared privately, so we're not going to say any names or anything like that. But we got one here that says, I would like to know your thoughts on my situation because I've been feeling really out of place recently. What?
It really says that, by the way. It really says that. It's a bunch of
I'm going to start over.
Everywhere.
I would like to know your thoughts on my situation because I've been feeling really out of place recently. Over the past few weeks, my friends that I've used to talk to all the time at school have stopped talking to me as much, and we don't really hang out ever anymore. During lunch and break periods, I feel like I'm just there because I just sit there and need, but don't talk to anyone. I feel that I'm just kind of like a stranger at times. I try to seem more fun and entertaining to try and interact with them more, but when I do, I don't really feel myself. I'm thinking maybe I should find new friends, but they haven't really done anything wrong. What do you think I should do? What do you think you should do, Ryan?
It's a great question. So I guess I had some experience with this in around middle school, and I just eventually decided it was okay and just started being with myself, and because like I liked video games and everybody that was in my group liked video games as well, but they were all into Grand Theft Auto and I had never played that game, and they were talking about it for months, and I was just sitting there at the table with nothing to say. So I just ate my food and I was like, whatever, you guys can talk about whatever you want, fine. And then whenever I could chime in about something random that was not related to the game. So that was my experience with that. Now the thing that I guess went on in my head was, at first I felt like I was an outcast and it was annoying, but eventually I just kind of said, that's okay if I don't relate with them on this topic and I don't have anything to add or anything to say or whatever. It's still cool that I get to be around them and chime in every once in a while, but I tried not to let it get to me because it didn't, it doesn't make me less of an awesome person just because I have nothing to say on the subject. So I just kind of like let it happen. And eventually they got over that game and then we started talking more again. So it kind of worked itself out in the end. But I guess it's good to find things to relate with each other about. And if you find yourself able to relate with them about whatever they talk about, well, if you're having difficulty relating to whatever they're talking about, you can try to see if you can find ways to learn about that subject and start to relate to them. But if you're just really not into it, then don't worry about it. If you want, you always have an option to see if you can find other friends. There's plenty of other people out there that would be willing to be your friend. Now, sometimes, especially in high school or middle school, we think that's not true, but it is. And it's just a matter of putting yourself out there for other people to enjoy, finding different groups and maybe getting shut down a couple of times. But as for this, I guess I don't really have a whole lot of advice because my issue kind of resolved itself, and yours might eventually too. As for being an outcast, I mean, you be you. Don't worry about what others think about you. If you just be yourself, even if that means overly being yourself, forcing yourself to act more like yourself. But if you're already acting like yourself, then that's okay. You're not doing anything wrong, and you should just, take it as it is. But yeah, I guess I don't really have a whole lot to say about on this subject, but I am looking forward to see what Derek has to say about it. So if he could say his things about it, that'd be cool.
Okay. So, yeah, I definitely agree with Ryan. And, sometimes people just have different thoughts. We're not really sure if they're just not talking to you because they're talking about something that you don't have the same interest in, or they're just not really talking to you at all for whatever reason. But if it is about interest, then, it's totally fine. They'll get over it. And, or you can always chime in with something that you're interested in. In regards of being yourself, it's okay to just kind of overly be yourself and say, man, I really like tacos. And then maybe they'll be like, yes. Wow, yeah, you're right. Tacos are delicious. You can put lettuce on them, and then it's a terrible example, but you know what I'm saying. But like, kind of put yourself out there and just let them know that, hey, I'm totally sitting here and I'd like to join on the conversation, or maybe create a conversation. Try to put yourself somewhat in the center or be the main topic, just to talk about something. But again, you're always free to make new friends. You don't necessarily have to just drop them from your friendship. You can just say, hey, you know what? Maybe I'll go talk to these groups because I'm overhearing them talking about art and I like art. So I'll go over there and go art with them. Or maybe you'll hear like someone talking about tacos and you'll go talk about tacos. So there isn't really too much to say as well, because Ryan did say pretty much everything there is to say. You're not doing anything wrong. They're probably not doing anything wrong. It is high school, of course. So people are kind of just going through their thing, and you might be going through something as well that you're not really too sure of just yet. It might just pass with time. And then the next thing you know, you guys are just going to be back to doing what you do, hanging out, playing games, or just whatever it is you guys normally do before whatever this quiet zone's going on right now. So yeah, you'll totally be fine. It'll work itself out. And in the meantime, feel free to explore the other groups of individuals inside your school. Make some friends, and then maybe like bring those groups to your groups and be like, hey group, this is my new group. And they'll be like, hey group, we're the group. And then you guys just group it up.
Nice. Just group it up.
Yeah.
Just take two groups and make one group out of it and just group it up.
Yeah, dude, just group it, man. But yeah, you'll be fine. Probably what you're feeling right now is just the need to like feel noticed, which is fine. Took a while for like Ryan to notice me, but it's all good.
No, it was love at first sight. Don't even.
It's true. I looked at him and I was like, oh my god, did my eyes fell out of my face?
Ouch. Yeah, that was a very terrifying experience for both of us. And you're lucky I had just washed my hands so that when I touched your very gentle eyes, I could put them back on your face and feel how wonderful your face was. It was love at first touch.
Exactly. And now I can't see at all anymore.
Yeah, that was I don't know what happened. I'm not a doctor, so I would not go to me for those types of things.
but jokes aside, yeah, man, or woman, I'm not sure. I'm just gonna call you Kitty Cat. You'll be fine.
Hey, Kitty Cat.
Cool. That's all I got.
Yeah. Also, Kitty Cat. I was thinking about it, and I had a friend who eventually figured out how to, like, every lunch period, make it something exciting at his own expense. When I was again, this was in middle school. This was actually basically around the same time. All of our friends were talking about Grand Theft Auto, the video game, and I had nothing to say much. And another friend of mine probably also didn't have much to chime in with either, but he started taking random foods at the table we were at and mixing them together and making this awful concoction. And then he would like at least take one bite of it. And that was his thing. Everybody, every lunch period was like, dude, you know, like, hey, how about this time grape juice, mashed potatoes, and like this, you know, pasta we got, you know, it's like every time it was something different, something new, something funny. And he was able to bring something to the table that everybody enjoyed. And it also allowed him to kind of get the attention for a while just to, you know, do what he wanted to do and have fun with it. And it's nice and fun to do those type of things, to bring something new to the table, literally, and see other people's reactions and enjoyment or that sort of thing out of it. It's a good experience. So if you can think of something to bring to the table like that, wow, again, literally, then awesome. If you can't, then it's fine. Just do what you can.
Just bring a table.
Just an idea. Just break the table. If you can't bring anything to the table, break the table. No, don't do that. All right. So, under the next topic, this one's also, again, a direct message, and so they asked to remain anonymous. They said, let's see here. Let me read it real quick. He basically had a best friend that was a best friend for a long time, and they stopped talking because they had basically an argument. One thought the other was treating them poorly, and vice versa. So, at first they tried to apologize, but then they decided maybe it's best if maybe I'm not in the wrong here, and they started to stand up for themselves. And they said, now after about 2 weeks, I'm beginning to wonder whether standing up for myself was the right choice, or if I should have apologized and taken the blame for such a huge issue. At what point do you draw the line between giving in and apologizing for things that you don't believe you did wrong, and actually standing up for yourself and your views? So hopefully I explained that well enough. If you would like, that'd be great if you could give us a few comments about that, Dirk.
So, it seems you both, or it's not, it seems you both pretty much acted rude to each other for what seems like no reason. Well, you have a reason yourself, but your best friend doesn't have a reason. And it looks like you're both like kind of going at each other because she believes you did something wrong and you believe that she did something wrong. So, I mean, all you really have to do is just tell your friend like, hey, you know what? We should sit down and talk about this. Because one, you should not even second guess or doubt yourself that you should not have stood up for yourself. No, do not ever have that thought in your mind. Because once you start feeling that way, you're gonna start doing it when you have no reason to do so. Like, do not let people put blame on you for no reason. Do not allow people to just like walk over you. Because you're pretty much giving them the go like, hey, you know what? It wasn't my fault, but if it makes you feel better, then it was my fault. And that's totally like a bad habit to have. I'm not trying to say like, do what I say. It's more like kind of like really think about it for a second, because it's just not okay to do. And then again, also, if she is the one to blame, you're pretty much giving them the get-go like, hey, you know what you did is totally fine. You can totally do it again. And it may not even be to you, it may just be to someone in her future life that you have like no relationships with or whatever. But then again, you're still being a part of that decision making in her future. Well, it's a subconscious thing. It's like all psychology. You're not telling them, straight up like, hey, you treated me bad. It's fine. She's gonna do it again. Like it's that part of your life where you have to realize that the things you do is wrong, and someone just has to tell you. So you both have to, kind of come to like a very, I wouldn't say like a grown-up thing. You both just have to be really mature and say, hey, can we talk for like 5 minutes or like 500 years and talk about this? And then like, hey, you know what? Yes, I was being mean and I apologize, but you were being mean first. And then, that actually, like, that's a terrible way to start that conversation. Don't do that. Don't listen to what I just said right now. Just tell her, say that you were being that way because she was being that way, but you weren't sure why. Now, again, you decided to do that action. You decided to be treating her, you decided to treat her poorly after the fact that she treated you poorly. So you made that decision. You consciously made that decision. And that's good that you stood up for yourself, but you still have to apologize because you made that decision the first time. But you have to sit down with her like a mature person, talk about it, figure out what it was, and go from there. Because at that point on, that's going to be all on you two. Whatever way it goes from there is totally fine. And what point do you draw the line between giving in and apologizing? You draw the line at the point where you're sacrificing yourself just for the sake of making things easier for the other person. Which, what's the word I'm looking for here? It's a two-sided thing, like a double-sided sword. A lot of swords are double-sided, Derek. You know what you're talking about. But the point here is that you draw the line when someone is definitely in the wrong and you're putting yourself at risk for absolutely no reason. That's where you draw the line. Because again, like I said, you're gonna start putting yourself out there for absolutely no reason just because you want the other person to feel better about themselves in a negative manner. And that pretty much in turn makes them continue to believe subconsciously that that's okay. And they'll continue to do that so forth and so forth. It may not be to you, could be to another person, or worse, they'll just do it to you again. And then at that point, you're gonna look back at it and think, man, I really shouldn't have done that. Now they keep doing it. First they took my chocolate milk, now they taking my cookies. I don't like this. But yeah, just have to sit down with your best friend and be like, hey, let's talk about this. That's all.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thanks, Derek. That I agree with all of that. As Derek said, you did what you did because you were being treated in a bad way by her. I don't think that. You have to take responsibility for. Yeah, skip the part where I said I don't think that. Okay, you have to take responsibility for treating her bad. That was all you. You made that decision by yourself, like Derek said. Even if they treated you poorly, you did also treat them poorly. I would, if it were me, I would apologize for that. But if there are things that you, like you said, if you've done things that you didn't believe you did wrong, like things that she's upset with you about, and you're like, but that wasn't wrong of me for doing. Like maybe her original reason for treating you poorly, she saw something that you did, she thought it was wrong or mean to her, even though you weren't being, something like that, but I don't know what it is, I don't know what the whole situation is. But if you have your views, and you don't want to sacrifice those views, because you have to draw things out, like Derek was saying earlier. If you back out on your views, your beliefs, your morals and that sort of thing, what you think is wrong and right, as soon as you start backing out on those a little bit, you'll start backing out on those more and more and more. Even if it starts as an apology, you'll just start apologizing for things that you know you didn't do that, or you didn't do anything wrong about, right? But the thing is, if you start losing those, you will end up with a very what's the word I'm looking for? Instead of fighting for what's right in the world, you will fight for everyone to just get along, and you think that those two are the same, but they're not. Because one, not everybody will get along, and two, you'll just be a pushover. Whatever the main society thinks, that's what you'll believe. You know, if the general population is going in one direction, you'll just go with them, whether they're right or wrong. So don't back out on your beliefs. You always stand up for them, because that is what makes you who you are. If you have no beliefs, then you will not have a direction to move in. You know, what you decide on every day, you know, every day you make decisions, and those decisions are based on how you view the world and how you, and the things that you believe. So if you throw those away, your direction starts to get all fuzzy, and you start just going with the crowd. And that's not the crowd. The crowd isn't always wrong, but when the crowd is wrong, you'll still go with them even though you really shouldn't. Because you don't want to be judged. You don't want to offend anybody, so you just go with them. And, you know, there's a lot of people out there who do that. And they as someone famous once said, many people live lives of quiet desperation. You know, the general masses, they're not chasing their dreams because they think dreams are foolish. You know, dreams are for fools. But that's not true. That's not true at all. It's just that you gotta keep standing back up every time. And a lot of people say, hey, don't judge me. And that's not okay. I mean, you shouldn't condemn people. You shouldn't like, hey, you're a terrible person, I hate you. No, you shouldn't do that. But you can judge each other's actions. Like, touching that hot stove probably isn't good. That's judging someone's actions. And you can judge someone's actions, again, like the fact that you just cheated on your girlfriend was not okay. Or, you know, when you told her you wouldn't and then you did, that's not okay. You lied, that's not okay. So you can judge those things and decide for yourself. But if you give those up completely, you'll become those things. You can become a liar. You can become a cheater if you don't stand up for your beliefs. So always stand up for your beliefs. You can't apologize for those. But, again, you can apologize for what I was saying earlier. You know, your choices, if you look at them and you say, I guess I might have been able to react in a better way. Probably shouldn't have attacked you or been mean to you. That doesn't help our friendship ever. So I'm sorry. But yeah, basically what Derek said, just talk to the person, ask them for their time, sit down with them for a while and talk it over. Sorry for talking so, I guess, bluntly. Sorry for talking so seriously about it, but I don't know, that's just direction that I was taking. So I apologize if that was too harsh, but hopefully it wasn't. Hopefully it was. So that's all I got.
Hooray.
Yeah, we did it.
We sure did.
We sure did. All right, so how about we close this out with a joke?
Do it.
Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so knock knock.
Who's there?
Heidi.
My brain processed it before I said it.
Oh really? Oh really?
Heidi who?
My name's not Heidi. Obviously, like, I have a male's voice. Really? You're gonna fall for Heidi? But anyways, Heidi who? Hi, I decided to knock on this door and figure out who's behind it. Who are you?
I asked you first.
I responded with, I I already answered that with a lie. It's your turn.
Well, my name's Tony Montamino. I'm 27 years old. I work at McDonald King. I like fishing down by the lake and riding the rhinoceros. I like having sleepovers with my pet turtles. Sometimes we talk about our feelings, but he's really slow, so it's okay.
Oh, wow. Whew, this is gonna be hard. Montamino, I'm 27 years old. What came after that? I work at McDonald King. I like to ride the rhinoceros and have sleepovers with my turtle and talk about deep subjects. Who? Oh my.
Sometimes I sleep with my eyes open. The doctor said it's real bad, because...
Oh my god. I should not have knocked on this door.
And,
just don't life.
Don't leave. I don't have no one to talk to.
Wait, you're only 27. Usually people start doing this once they're like 72.
Who is this again?
Okay, go on. This again. I'm so sorry. I meant you're so wise. You're so wise. People at 27 aren't usually this wise. Usually you have to be like 72 before you're that smart.
My name is Richard.
What? Do you mean to tell me the thing about the riding the rhinoceroses or the rhinos? What was it? What was it that you were riding?
The Pinocchio cones.
You mean to tell me that you were riding the Pinocchio cones? That whole thing was a lie? That your eyesight is just fine and your name is Richard?
Yeah, they call me Richard Richardson. I really like Pinocchio codes.
You like... Yeah, apparently. Yeah, apparently. You like to ride them. I am sure you like Pinocchio.
They're like the Pinocchio from the movie Geppetto, but
it's Pinocchio, by the way. Pinocchio from the movie Geppetto.
Pinocchio.
It's like the phone. Nokia. It's like Pinocchio.
It's like he doesn't lie. He just makes phone calls. Hi, hello. Is your fridge running? Oh, I guess it is. Well, you better turn it off.
You better turn it off. Wait, you did the joke wrong. Oh my gosh. That's so like it's Pinocchio, but every time he lies, instead of his nose growing, he grabs out his cell phone and makes a call, a prank call on somebody. He's like,
it's a terrible prank call. Also.
Hello, is your refrigerator running? Yeah. You better turn it off. Wait, I never get these right. and it makes a random call, and it just happens to be his maker, whatever his name is. Is it Geppetto?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's Geppetto, and he just pulls out his cell phone. He's like, yeah. Do you like sausage? Man, Pinocchio, we really don't have to do this. Well, thank you, bet. I don't even know how this one goes. Yeah, that's okay. Pinocchio, when are you gonna stop lying to me?
And why are you doing that Mickey Mouse voice?
I saw you in the Mickey Mouse suit. I know you've been, cross-animationing.
It wasn't me. I would never do that.
I never do that. Come on. Well, I mean, I have to make a call.
I have to make a call.
This is Mickey Mouse. Oh shoot! I have to make 2 calls. Okay, so anyways, thanks for joining us all, guys, and we appreciate you stopping by and listening to us talk about things, and we really appreciate your comments. If you could please leave more of them, that would be greatly appreciated. Whatever you're going through, whatever you think you get some advice on, or your friends, then please give us a comment, whether that be on the YouTube places or Twitter or whatever. And once again, if you could please go over to Derek the Beta Cat's channel and check him out and give him some love and touch him with your love, and then give him some Pinocchio. Love touch, phone calls, stuff. That'd be great because he's awesome and you'll enjoy it, and you'll enjoy it because I told you you will. You will enjoy it. You don't have a choice in this.
Oh my.
Oh my. Anyways, does that wrap it up? Do you have anything else to say?
You're great.
Aw. Thank you. You're great. So is everybody.
You're all great.
Thank you, you commenters. You guys are great. And stuff. Anyways.
You're great, Juice.
Grape juice?
Yeah.
Is that like the better version of grape juice?
Yep.
Sounds great. All right. See everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your week.
Bye.
Bye. Oh wait. Instead of leaving, ending the record button, I accidentally pressed leave call, which did nothing. Now this is still being recorded. It's great. Yes.